Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grown folk, children, and babies. Welcome back to the CallMeNakomi World Show. I am CallMeNakomi, your host, and I have a special guest today. My man O is back on the show. Don't you know? Go ahead, tell him what you know.
Yo, what up, people? I am back with my girl. We are doing it up for a special edition. The greatest season of all time is back. As you can see, my Green Bay Packers. We got the New York Giants. What does that mean? NFL is back in the fold. Let's go.
Back in the building, everybody. I am so excited, yo. I'm telling you right now, it's like a new energy, even in the office, yo. Everybody's talking about it. Last night was lit. Everybody's just like, yo, like we're gonna get into the game a little bit later, basically. So it's a whole other energy.
When the off season when the off season's around, like life is boring. Like there's nothing, you have nothing. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to watch. But we ain't got that problem no more. It's back.
When you say there's nothing to do, there's baseball, which is the equivalent of nothing to do. It's the driest season of the world. But at least we are blessed with the sport that we love that basically is 24/7 around the clock, 365 days. And you just basically play for 18 weeks. It's the most beautiful, crazy soap opera.
It is pure magic. As we saw last night.
Absolutely.
With Detroit and Kansas City.
Yep.
Now, who of all, if you had your money on Detroit, besides Detroit fans, nobody had their money on Detroit. Everybody had Patrick Mahomes coming in the clutch as he always does. But nope. Didn't work out. Detroit came through. Detroit came out on top and dropped that L on Kansas City. And I was in shock. Couldn't believe it.
Absolutely. If they had their money on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, I'll tell you right now, they were shocked that they won. They were shocked. They said, they won? Wow, that was a long shot. I just had $20. I just decided to just throw it on it.
Detroit isn't the Detroit that we're used to.
Nope.
Like they are not. Detroit has a legit quarterback. They have a legit defense, led by Aiden Hutchinson, his second year. Yep. They have a stellar run game, which they've had the last couple of years. But now, with Jameer Gibbs, excuse me, he's in there. They are on all fronts. I'm telling you, they have a top 5 wide receiver in Amon-Ra. Like that dude is that dude. If you have him in fantasy, I know you are living large right now.
I definitely was. I was happy. One
person I am going to tell you, if you don't get in fantasy, which I did, I picked him up last night while watching the game. Reynolds. Reynolds is that sleeper. He was all over the field putting in work.
Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't exactly a shocker because I expected Detroit to basically be a potent offense. Like you said, basically it was the defense was I wouldn't say great defense. They weren't like a Buffalo or anybody like that or 49ers, but they were definitely up there past a lot of other defenses. They were able to put pressure. They put pressure all day long. They were covering receivers. They had pressure on receivers at all times. These receivers were looking behind them for ghosts because they were dropping balls like it was basically a Christmas tree that I just bumped into. It was crazy. Like, okay, so to the game, just to give y'all some particulars, they lost basically the Chiefs lost 21-20. Now, by halftime, I swore that score was going to be something like 48 to 17 or something like that. Maybe 21. Maybe they would have got to 21. But Patrick Mahomes looked like he had that offense absolutely cooking. And then out of nowhere,
remember, they also didn't have their top tight end. He was out because he hyperextended his knee. But still, Mahomes was still putting them in position to win. But their wide receivers, especially Tony. Now, I'm not talking about the music group Tony. Nope. I'm talking about the wide receiver Tony.
Do you know what today is?
3 wide open, nobody near him drops.
It's yours.
Changers.
In the numbers. He put it in the numbers. It was yours. And basically you just squandered those. I'm telling you now, when Kadarius Toney left my Giants, basically people were just like, and he had that, play in the Super Bowl. People were just like, oh, how did y'all get rid of him? And we was just like, you could have him, because that is one of the 18 weeks. That's his one play of the 18 weeks that we basically had that man. He didn't give you, when he gave you something, it was like a shamrock, like finding a shamrock in the grass. I'm telling you right now. So you guys can have him. I really hoped that the Chiefs was actually going to kind of really replenish their wide receivers this offseason. They needed to do that.
You want a job? If you need a job and you play football at wide receiver or cornerback, or even a quarterback.
I used to play in my flag football league.
Right now, they need you. It is open. Go right ahead. You will walk on, just like in college. You will walk on. They need wide receivers right now.
Hey, I played two-way. On my fantasy on my flag football league back in the day. So right now, so they didn't have Kelsey.
It was a great way to open up the season. I'm telling you, phenomenal game. I didn't see the ending coming like that at all. It wasn't a shootout by no means. It was methodical, run, try to keep Patrick Mahomes on the bench. They had a game plan and they were sticking to it, even though some of the play calls were kind of funky, but
that's a whole other thing.
It was, but they were trying to keep Mahomes on the bench, and for a majority of the game they did. But that is how you bring in the NFL season.
Back to the Chiefs real quick. They were missing 3 key people yesterday. Obviously Travis Kelce, their number one receiver, period. It's not even like air between them. It's just like it teleports basically from Mahomes' hands into Kelce's hands, automatic catch, go, it's done. So obviously his safety blanket, that's person that was missing. So he had to rely on his fourth and fifth and sixth options yesterday.
This is Kelce's first missed game since 2013.
Exactly.
Now, hear that, people. First missed game since 2013.
That's how you become one of the greats.
1,300.
I'm gonna grab all of these yards. He's the GOAT. He's gonna be the GOAT. If he's not the GOAT, he's going to be the GOAT.
He will go down as the greatest tight end in NFL history. Absolutely.
Plain and simple. Wear the crown. That's it. Plain and simple. So hopefully he'll be back next week. I heard that there's some good chance, since they have like 10 days until their next game. He's gonna have some time to basically heal up, and hopefully he'll be able to get back on the game out there. Also, another dude that they missed was Chris Jones Jones. That to me was a key piece, an even bigger key piece, because they're both high-powered offenses. But the Chiefs defense was never the one to stop people. They were the ones to put pressure and get turnovers, put pressure on the quarterback and get turnovers. So missing their key pass rusher was definitely. You said what?
He's a top 5 defensive tackle in the league.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that a little bit later when we start talking about salaries. We're going to come back to that. So basically he's holding out because of a contract situation. He's trying to get his money, but they're basically, trying to shortchange him. We'll get back to that. Like I said, we're going to talk about those situations around the league. And the third person, I feel that I'm not sure if too many people are talking about it, but I think people are talking about it. Eric Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy. The offensive coordinator that left and went to Washington.
Now with Washington. Oh my God.
Significant change. Significant change.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Eric should have been a head coach years ago. Years ago. Eric has been the top offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs for their 2 Super Bowl runs. He has been the intricate mind for that offense. And you see the drastic drop from just last night's game 1. And you see a drastic difference in how that offense is run.
Absolutely. It didn't seem, I mean, don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. He was basically, he had to run. I felt that they was under a lot more pressure, so he basically had to use his wheels again, which he's never really been afraid to use basically before, but he hasn't had to need to use it as much as he did yesterday. I haven't seen him run that much in a long time. What about you? Have you seen him run like that in a long time?
Had to. He's always had his outlets, whether it was drop a dime on a running back, Kelsey was there, wide receivers were there, but now he's
Pacheco.
He's desperate. He doesn't have the time to sit in the pocket. He is dancing,
and they're coming.
He runs out of time. The pocket collapses, and he's gone. Now, mind you, he is so elusive. He can get you those extra 6, 7, 8, 9, sometimes 12, 15 yards.
Exactly. With a baseball slide.
The Lamar, where he's going to be a quarterback sneak and go. That's never been his.
No, he's definitely not run first. He's definitely not run first, but he made that decision very, very quickly, early in the progressions to just go ahead and take it himself. Because I mean, you could kind of almost see it by how many times he ran, how unsure he is about his receiving core out there. So to me personally, they need to make some. There's some trades out there that could possibly be made. I mean, could you imagine having a Mike Evans? Could you imagine having a Mike Evans out there?
Ooh, and Mike has already made his presence stated that, look, come game 1, if I don't have a new contract, we're not talking about it for the season, and I'm hitting free agency. So you got a big Mike Evans, him and Kelsey on the same. Can you imagine that? Mike Evans, Kelsey on the same squad. Like, just imagine how both of them would spread the field. I mean, that would be, and then you got MVS on the team too, which MVS would go deep. Mike would, oh my gosh, that would be so unfair, massively unfair.
That would be massively unfair. I mean, 2 huge targets just out there. Basically, might as well be 2 huge wide receivers, or two tight ends. I mean,
you couldn't double either one of them, because if you double one, you're leaving man on man on the other, and they're going to burn you.
Hell yeah.
Kelsey has done his entire career. You go man on man, and Kelsey, whether he's going in the flat, he's going shallow, or he's going deep, he's going to burn you. Mike Evans is a 6'5", 235-pound beast of a wide receiver.
Freight train.
You are going to body him
with finesse. It's like because it's like you could be athletic, but basically he for a big body. He every single year he reminds me of Terrell Owens, where basically no matter what quarterback you throw at him, he's gonna get at least 1,100 yards a year.
Receiver to put up 1,000+ yards over the last 9 consecutive years. Exactly. No other receiver has done that.
That's why I pick him up if he's available. I didn't have to. I didn't pick him up. I didn't pick him up in any of these leagues that I'm in right now. But at the same time, if I had to, I would.
Because you gotta look who's the quarterback.
If I had to, man, it's about the man, not the what's name. I know Baker Mayfield. No, I never touched the Brown around that time.
Man, to give him the ball, how's he gonna catch it? What's he gonna do? Throw it to himself?
I'm honestly kind of not fascinated. I'm kind of curious to see how what's the Tampa Bay's stats going to really look like, because I mean The only quarterback, the only wide receiver I saw eat with him was basically like Landry. That was the only wide receiver that I saw eat with him, and he basically just because he liked him. It's
Landry also is a different breed of a wide receiver. Landry, he went inside, he went deep. You know, he played slot. You know, it didn't matter which side he was on. Landry was a completely different breed of a wide receiver. So that's I don't know. That's here.
Yeah. But you know who I do have in my fantasy leagues? Rashad White. He's the running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I know he's going to get a lot of use.
Yes, he will.
He's going to eat.
Like he doesn't have a choice.
He's going to eat. Period. I was just like, you know what? I don't trust nobody on that team except for him.
I will tell you the number one choice of wide receiver that I have on every single one of them. I'm in 3 different leagues. And the number one wide receiver I have on all 3 leagues.
What's that?
From the New York Jets.
Oh, Jalen. No, Jalen Waddle. What's his name again?
And Aaron Rodgers together. Come on now, that man about to put up some yards. He's balled out with a backup quarterback. Now you're mixing him with a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you expect him not to ball out? Come on now, really?
I mean, he's gonna basically.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you, if he does not put up 1,300 yards minimum this season, I'll be madly surprised.
I'd be shocked. Besides the fact that Lazard, we're talking about Wilson, right?
Wilson, yes.
Lazard is actually starting out the season with a hurt shoulder, and a couple of other.
Yep, Cobb is hurt too.
Exactly, Cobb is hurt. I mean, he's going to be their go-to guy. It's going to be him and the running backs. You know what I mean? Out there, basically. So
you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield with him too, and Brees. Come on, like that offense is as long as that offensive line holds, and he has time back there. Aaron Rodgers is playing a madman right now, and he's going to ball out.
I actually wanted to pick Aaron Rodgers as my backup quarterback, basically, but he's still there in most of my leagues. So I basically figure if I need him, I could either go get him or something if I wanted to. But say what?
He is my backup. I have Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers in one league, and then I think I have Patrick on all my leagues. Aaron 2, and then who do I have? Lamar. And I have Lamar in my last one. Because Lamar is going to battle Aaron Rodgers for AFC dominance. Because Lamar finally, out of his entire career, finally has wide receivers to throw to.
Yep.
Not just one, not just 2.
Not
just 3.
Plural.
He got 4.
Cuatro.
He had not 4 wide receivers to throw to, plus a beast of a tight end.
Yep, absolutely. I mean,
Lamar is going to wreak havoc.
And there's no. That was definitely a guy that I was looking to try to get. It just basically never worked out through the shuffle wherever I was drafting to get him. Basically, let me ask a question. Real quick, just. Question: where did you basically draft Patrick Mahomes at in the draft?
Oh, he was my first pick.
First pick. It had to be because the man.
I know how he does, and I know how he works. In no way I was going to allow him to drop. No, he was my first pick across the board because I just wanted to get him off the board, and then I would follow with everybody else, wide receivers, running backs, and all that.
Right. I feel you. I think at least that is taken care of, and you're basically going to get everything else you need. Yeah. Correct. As far as Lamar Jackson, I definitely think that there is no reason why he is not going into this season with a mindset of I have receipts, and I'm going to be kicking ass. And go into and march and basically go into every single one of these places and remind people how he won the MVP award, and it wasn't no fluke. Basically, they either didn't give him enough in the following years afterwards, or he got hurt because they weren't giving him enough at his O-line to protect him. So as far or wide receivers, you know what I mean? But now that he finally another thing that we'll get to later on, basically compensation. And this, why is there so much turmoil in the league with these owners who is just standing off against every single player?
Okay,
that actually deserves the money.
Okay, all right. So we're bringing that up. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking dollars. This offseason has seen quarterbacks get paid cash money paid. And we're not talking about just the full we're talking about not only are they getting contracts like that you've never seen ever, but they are getting fully amount of cash.
Guaranteed.
Full amounts of cash that are being paid to them. You know, the Eagles decided to drop dollars on their quarterback, which he earned. He absolutely Lamar Jackson earned his money. Everybody was saying, what's he doing? Why is he doing this himself? He needs to go get somebody who knows. And what did he do? He got himself paid.
That part.
Joe Burrows just got himself paid. $275. $275
for just 5 years. That's crazy, yo. Because I kind of feel like Patrick Mahomes's deal was for like the 25 for 25 years joint, that old Magic Johnson contract.
$500 million for 10 years.
10 years. That means and $275 for 5 years. Yeah. And this is what his 5th year.
What is it? 125 is fully guaranteed. 135 is fully guaranteed.
Joe Burrows?
Like yeah, Joe Burrows.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like between 122 and 135 is fully guaranteed.
Now I would have needed at least 150 guaranteed if I was Joe Burrow.
But he's getting incentives. So that 275 is going to be more than that with incentives. So this boy is living it.
He'll have $500 million earned from them before he's not going to leave unless they absolutely fall apart. He's not going to leave.
Contract extension. Because remember, he's still technically on his rookie deal.
Pretty much. Exactly.
So this is only his first contract extension. This is Lamar's first contract extension. This is also Jalen Hurts' first contract extension. So imagine when it's 3 years from now, when it's time to re-up, every last one of those guys are going to be over the $300 million mark when it comes time to re-up in 3 to 4 years.
They got the money. Shh, don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody.
Because they have the money. Why is Jonathan Taylor not being paid?
Why did Saquon Barkley have to come out with his hands out like, please, sir, I want some more, please? Why are they begging?
Jonathan Taylor is a top 5 running back in the league, still on a rookie contract, and he is not. And they acting like he a scrub.
He's not even a jerk off the field. He's actually a really great guy. Everybody loves him. What's your problem with him? And this is my problem. It's one thing. Okay, they have decided to take the needle of where a person's prime is and move it back, basically so they could capitalize on the rookie contract basically being where they want to actually pay their running backs. But by the time your body actually gets to your prime, they are trying to not pay you when you are in the prime of your career. I mean, physically.
No boy Saquon, they ain't paying him. We're not paying Josh Jacobs in Vegas either.
And they were healthy. They were healthy last year. It don't matter.
But that's what I'm saying. But you got 3 top 10 running backs that are up for contract. Jacobs, Saquon got 1-year contracts. 1-year contracts.
Yep.
They don't want to pay them. And then you have Taylor, who they're saying, oh, no, we're not going to pay you. But then we want to ask for a first-round draft pick. Like, if you're saying he's not worth the money, then why are you asking for a first-round draft pick?
Exactly. If he's worthless, why are you trying to get something of value back for him?
Right.
Just pay him. Or, I mean, it's like they're I tell you, I wish that the NFL ran their pay scale like NBA, which it actually really fits into what a percentage of what their TV money actually is.
It will never happen.
Ever happen.
Too much fully guaranteed money that's out there, and there are too many players from the NFL will get hurt more frequently than NBA players. So if you were to do a fully guaranteed to a running back at we'll say 125 million fully guaranteed, he gets hurt game 1. He's paid.
I completely understand you. I'm not saying to fully guarantee the whole contract. I'm not saying to do that at all. I'm saying at least a bigger percentage, like 75% of the contract. I see like, oh, you got a $20 million contract and $4 million is guaranteed. That's the kind of shit that you see out there. And it's just like, it just boggles the mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm just basically thinking to myself, like, we all see it and they don't care.
You have to look at the market. If you look at the markets of some of these places, Kansas City is never going to have the money that New York Giants do, or the New England Patriots, Dallas Cowboys. They're never going to have that kind. They're not.
Understandable, completely.
So but to be able to do even close to a fully guaranteed contract, even at 75%, it could never happen because that would absolutely deplete off of one player pretty much their entire, bank.
I got it. I completely understand you and agree with you. Business wise, it wouldn't work. But at the same time, I'm not even talking about the fully guaranteed stuff, because I'm just talking about reality. That's fantasy, because basically that would never pass as a contract with the Players Association.
It's like soccer,
say what?
Miami did. Miami brought over one of the greatest soccer players of all time, and the LA Galaxy game that just got played, one ticket cost more than if you were to go to every game for the LA Rams. Because they have to pay his salary. They have to pay Messi's salary. So, I mean, you could do it like that. Raise ticket prices 125%. You'll absolutely, be able to pay whoever you want to pay.
Of course, it has to be realistic. I get it. I completely understand and say, and I hear what you're saying. I completely hear what you're saying. My thing is this: when the one thing that I need for the NFL to do is to get rid of the franchise tag.
Oh, fast.
That to me,
absolutely.
I mean, because I understand completely, especially running backs. Even though I get it, quarterbacks, it's hard to come by a NFL ready quarterback. So that's why you pay them more to keep them with your team for as long as possible. Wide receivers, there's a dime a dozen wide receivers, but the really good top wide receivers, there's but so many out there. You got to basically pay them to keep them around there. Same thing with defensive ends, as I thought before Chris Jones. I thought the defensive ends usually get their money. You know what I mean? I mean, how much money is a dude asking for? Who knows?
Chris Jones is a defensive tackle. He's in the same bucket Yeah. He's a defensive tackle. He's in the same bucket as, which will probably go down as the GOAT of defensive tackles in Donald.
Yeah. Right. I feel you. Yeah. Basically, but still, it's a very obviously very valued position. I just wonder, how did the running backs fall so low? Because I mean, I get it; it's oversaturation of the supply. You know what I mean?
Because it's a quarterback league now. Remember, back when you and I were young, the Emmitt Smiths. You know what I mean?
Jerome Bettis,
the Ronnie Lotts. You know, those were the Marshall Faulks. Those were, the
Jerome Bettis. Exactly. Latavius, not Latavius, Tomlinson. Yes.
Right. Those were the running back. It was a running back league. You got a big running back. You fed them, and they put up the stats. They put up Adrian Peterson. You see what I mean? Those were the running backs. Now it's about the quarterbacks. It's about, we need to find the greatest quarterback that there is, and we need to draft him, and we need to stick him in immediately, and so he can start winning us some games. And unfortunately, it's not a good look.
I mean, the thing is well, I'm thinking about it basically as I mean, maybe as a football purist, because I understand they basically are more willing to run it with maybe not as high of hopes that they could have for making it to the Super Bowl, but at the same time, they're just like, if we just have a serviceable running back out there, we could basically do this. But at the same time, it's just like, you need a running back to make that wide receiver core work. You can't just have nobody back there. You know what I mean? So it's like the most successful running backs. I figured that at least, especially if they are an integral part of your offense, why not basically just pay them what they're worth? But this is my thing. I completely understand you with the situation. It's supply and demand, and there are a lot of running backs coming out of college every single day. So basically, they could switch you out every single year if they really want to, with a 5th, 6th round pick. You know what I mean? Even somebody basically undrafted free agent, you know what I mean? That has played in the NFL. They could do that. But I'm just like,
running back by committee.
And do it by it's just basically a Swiss Army knife. You have Kamara. He can run and he could pass. I mean, and he could catch. And you basically say, okay, instead of Kamara, I'm gonna go ahead and get Montgomery, and I'm gonna get Jahmyr Gibbs, and that's gonna be an Alvin Kamara. And that's basically how they feel. It's committee, and they don't have to pay them as much because neither of them really showed that they could do both. And as soon as they show that they could do too much, too much, they let you go.
Right.
And then basically now you're on the back nine of your career. You have been given your 4-year notice that this is the back end of your career, and you can feel free to go and basically play for whomever you want. The Dalvin Cooks of the world, who basically are some of the top running backs every single year. They basically end up just going into free agency and don't even get picked up immediately off the board.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? But anyway, we can keep on. Let's keep it moving a little bit. Because we could talk about contracts and how much how much they get. We wanted to talk about the pressure put on quarterbacks. Do you feel like there's some type of issue basically with the.
So yes. So as we just spoke about, right now it's a quarterback league. And teams are trying to find that gem, at quarterback. Look at right now, Carolina got their, quarterback, what they believe is their quarterback of the future. Houston Texans got their, quarterback of the future. Indianapolis Colts, got their quarterback of the future, and these are all their hopes that these are their quarterbacks of the future. Even Green Bay is starting, even though he's not a rookie. He's a he's a fourth year pro, but he's only had one start ever. So technically, you can say he's a rookie. So teams are putting a lot of pressure on a lot of quarterbacks now to insert them immediately. And getting behind and learning from, unfortunately for Green Bay, we had Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years to learn. That was a blessing for us.
Because that's how Green Bay does it.
Exactly. That's exactly how Aaron
I'm not mad at it.
Behind Brett Favre for 3 years and learned. And as much as controversial as it was, he still learned. But a lot of these teams, they're taking these quarterbacks right out of college, inserting them immediately, saying, okay, they're going to be good to go. They're ready. And then when they don't ball out immediately, they're like, oh, he's a bust. Oh my gosh, he's whatever the case may be. Prime example, Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to go down as one of the biggest busts in NFL history. And it's sad because he never really got the opportunity to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL. And now he's second string for Dallas. And I pray and I hope, I can't believe he's actually going to learn from Dak, which I don't necessarily think that's a positive, but
he's not the best professor in the building.
How to not throw interceptions, except against you guys on Sunday. So except that, but beyond that, he's going to be able to sit and learn, and that's what these rookie quarterbacks need. They need to take a year or two to learn the speed of the NFL. The speed of college and the speed of NFL are not the same. It's night and day.
Night and day.
You're playing against people that have only been there for 4-5 years at most. NFL, you got guys that have been playing for 12, 13 years who have went from bench pressing 225 to 355 pounds. You know what I mean? They mastered their positions for the last decade. And you think that they're just going to be able to come out and now there's always that gym. There's always that gym. If you look at Buffalo, there's that gym. Look at Cincinnati, there's that gym. Patrick Mahomes is that gym. So yes, there are some that they come into the league and they ball out, but that is made less than 1%. Do that. So why I think the NFL is doing a disservice to these young quarterbacks by not allowing them to sit, learn, ask the right questions, watch and see how these vets are under center and what they do when they're under pressure by defensive tackles and defensive ends, or when they send a full-on blitz, how, they're jucking and jiving and moving, things like that.
And I think that also something that needs to be said is the lack of pressure. You sometimes when you are making a transition from collegiate to professional, it's not just basically for school pride, and someone might say you suck on the street. You know what I mean? You basically are a person driving the brand new Maybach to the prom. You know what I mean? And they want to make sure that you don't wreck the shit on the way. So, and for a college kid, I mean, it's expected, and they almost basically, put in a rider of a year, basically that you could slide for that first year. We understand you're gonna need some time, but they throw these brand new kids on the worst team in the league, and then they expect for them to stay healthy and learn when the coach is probably unqualified to actually coach you, however they received their job. And if you do not, and God forbid you get hurt. God forbid you get hurt.
Right.
And then you basically have to wait out a year, and then hopefully your rehab went well, and they basically got the person who backed you up, and that person did decently in front of you, but you were the person that they decided to actually play first game of the season. And it's a messy situation. And it's just like, not saying that you don't throw your number one pick out there. Because I mean, sometimes some teams basically just have no one better to be actually competitive with. They might as well use you. And if they feel that your body is NFL ready and that you basically at least understand the playbook enough, they put you out there to start. Or if they realize that, okay, you need a year, they'll sit you down. And hopefully that you'll pick something up enough that will make them feel confident enough that you're not going to wreck the car. You know what I mean? But at the same time, some people just basically they put the weight of the entire world on these children who they've been playing football. They've been playing semi-professional football for 3 years max.
I agree. Now, there are great situations where there are some college coaches that do prep these players for the NFL. They do give them the looks of a NFL team. Mm-hmm. Prime example, Deion Sanders.
True.
Deion right now, what Deion did last week with Colorado and TCU, girl. Bruh. Look, everybody's talking about, Deion's being childish, talking about he's saving receipts. Yes, save them. Every last one of them. Because what Deion has done, where he has a whole new squad, pretty much 90% of the team that was there is gone.
I mean, you celebrate Kobe Bryant and LeBron and Jordan for keeping receipts. Why is it that you basically can't allow a coach for keeping receipts who is a obviously highly competitive person from his professional years? And I hate when people try to basically teach mediocrity and try to basically cover it and disguise it as humbleness. And it's just like, why do I need to be humble? To win, you must be confident. And sometimes it has to be irrational confidence. You cannot see it, but you believe. It's faith, plain and simple. And I always say that coaching is 85% mental and like psychology. And what's that, 15% X's and O's. Because when the kids get out there, yes, they've practiced plays. They know the play that they're going to do. They do it the way you want them to do it. But instinct takes over, basically. So it's about a captain to steer the ship. You have your offensive coordinator. You have your defensive coordinator, and Deion basically is a leader. Period. He's a leader. So he goes and he does what he's been doing forever. And they are trying to act as though it's not football. It's just football. And he knows football. And he could basically train kids to play football. So
he knows football, but he also knows how to talk to people.
Exactly.
He knows how to inspire people to do what needs to get done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The man has done preaching. The man has gone about and been paid to do, to talk to businesses to get them, invigorated to do the job. He, as you said, the man knows the man is a Hall of Famer in the NFL. You don't get into a Hall of Fame unless you know what you were doing playing the game. So this man knows the game. So what he did with Colorado is he got players to leave their school
to
come play for him because he was able to tell them, this is what's going to happen. You come play for me, you will get your time. You come play for me, you will ball. You come play for me, you will get recognized.
I'm Deion Sanders, baby.
Me, you will be NFL ready by the time you leave this school.
And I'm prime time.
Game one, what happened? His son threw up 510 yards passing.
100 yards to 4 receivers.
Four receivers, 100 yards apiece.
No
interceptions, none whatsoever. 4 touchdowns.
And he was sacked like 4 times.
Right. And then the running back is a true freshman. Edwards is a true freshman, and he ran it in 3 times. So when I tell you Deion had these boys believing in themselves, he had his number 1 wide receiver playing both ways. This dude put up 175 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and 3 passes deflected. Like, this boy, that's how you get recognized for the Heisman. That right there.
Yo, I say that definitely he could do that. Now, okay. And if people are trying to throw, salt in the game, I understand it. They make rational arguments saying that TCU basically lost a lot of players or whatever, you know what I mean? So, the team that they played was whatever. But this team won 1 game last year.
and lost by an average of 33 points. They lost by an average of 33 points. TCU may have lost a lot of people, but remember, they also played in the national championship last year.
The propaganda is real, bro. The propaganda is real. They out here.
At the end of September, the last 2 weeks of September, they play USC, and I believe they play, because they play Nebraska tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe
already. Dang.
They play USC, and they play another Pac-12 team. And I can't remember who it is. But if they walk out of September with only 1 loss, you can't tell me that they will not be a team to be looked at.
That part. I'm telling you, I feel like you got to give them some respect. It's funny because as soon as usually on Monday you'd be able to see what the rankings are, but they had another game. They're just spreading football out so much. There's games like every single damn day. So I had to wait.
Beautiful thing.
Huh?
It's bringing the tears to my eye.
Is it Christmas?
Into a relationship.
Is it Christmas?
When football season starts, I'm gonna let you know right now. Don't ask me to go nowhere on Thursday. Don't ask me to go nowhere on Saturday. Don't ask me to do nothing on Sunday, Monday. You know what? I may give you a kiss and a hello. You give me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm yours. The other days, how you doing? It's great to see you. I hope you had a great day at work. Bye.
The secret is that you got to basically, some games you're going to have to miss. But I choose my Laker games that I don't miss because of the fact that they're all the way on the West Coast. So they come on later and she's already asleep by the time those games come on. But my football games, what I try to do, the secret is I basically watch the games with her in the room. So I'm spending time with her while I'm keeping my eye on the game.
Look, I'm gonna have
You can't go missing. You can't go missing.
I saw a video. This guy came up with an NFL season contract.
Yes, absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Brilliant idea. Absolutely brilliant idea.
Fair.
I'm just saying.
It's a compromise.
Look, we miss out on football for 4 months out of the year. or you get all our time.
Bro, I've been doing fantasy football since the day I met her. Since before I met her, years before I met her. And then basically, it's just like she's still fascinated by how much time I put into it. She's just like, if you put this kind of work into something else, oh my God, I could imagine what you could do. And I'm just like, why are you acting like this like this binder full of work is this new shit? You know, I'm just like, you know me. It's the Lakers and it's football every single year. That's all that I'm thinking about. And I'm just like, okay. I'm just like, okay. I'm finding ways to basically, you know, at least not abandon my family at least nine months out of the year. It's a struggle, but hey, it's worth it. Because I mean, you know,
but all right, so I guess we coming up on time. So
no, we're good. Actually, we're good. So say what?
No, that's good. I thought we had a time limit.
Oh no, yeah, no. Actually, we will have no more time limits. I'm still not going to try to talk you guys' ears off, but at the same time, you know, we're not going to have to do any abrupt endings on the show. So, yeah, we're talking about that basically is the news and discussion that ends that news and discussion section of the show. But before we leave, we cannot leave, of course, without going into our divisional predictions.
Oh,
yes. We got to call it. Flip a coin if you have to.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
All right. Where are we starting?
I defer. We're going to start with the NFC South, since that's where we live at right now. Let's start with the NFC South. You know what I'm saying? And just so you know, real quick, I of course I rep New York Giants. That's my team.
Yeah.
But I live here and I feel the pain of the people that's around me.
Don't even do it to yourself.
I'm not saying I'm a fan.
No.
But
you cheer for a team that lost 25 points in a quarter in the Super Bowl. Absolutely not.
They forever lost their card forever. Their fan card. They can't have real fans no more.
Forever.
The real fans stuck with them though. They still here. How sweet it will be when what's the new quarterback's name?
Ridley.
Yeah. When Ridley you know, connects with Pitts in the end zone for the Super Bowl winning touchdown, and they do the coffee show.
Ain't no dirty bird. Ain't no dirty birds. No, we ain't doing no dirty birds.
It's never gonna happen. We
ain't doing no dirty birds. But so NFC South.
Kyle Pitts is a bust. I said it.
Because you have to look at the NFC South. The NFC South is an enigma. You have a second-year quarterback, right? With the Falcons. You have a rookie quarterback with Carolina. You have a traded quarterback or a picked up quarterback in free agency with New Orleans, who didn't really ball out with Vegas.
He underachieved last year. I had him as I expected him to do a lot better than he did.
Yeah, right. And then you have whatever Tampa got going on out there. So
whatever.
Yeah. So it's an enigma at quarterback. And so and the other thing is no team in the NFC South has repeated as champion.
Don't talk.
They always flip-flop. So as I guess if I had to pick, I would love to go with Carolina, but their offensive line is trash, as the preseason has shown. Their offensive line is horrible.
You would go with Carolina to win the division?
Because I believe in their quarterback. But Carolina's offensive line is trash. So I'm going with the safe pick, and I'm going to go with New Orleans. The reason I'm going with New Orleans is because Jimmy is back in New Orleans.
Graham?
Jimmy is back in
as
New Orleans.
as in Jimmy Graham? I thought he was dead.
Jimmy is back in New Orleans.
He ain't dead.
Like, he rejuvenated. He's back. It's 12 years ago. Jimmy is back. He's going to do the damn thing. I'm going with Jimmy, and I'm running with the Saints. They're going to be the champions. There we go. I said,
bless your heart. You is sweet. You is kind. You is somebody, Omar. You is somebody. Don't get me wrong. All right, so I feel the Saints have a really good chance of winning this division easily, especially with the fact that Kamara is going to come back sooner or later. 3 weeks. And I feel as though, even Michael Thomas is a shell of himself, but Olave is going to basically get a lot of that, huh?
He's healthy finally.
He's finally healthy, but let's see, basically, still Father Time still weighs on you. You know what I'm saying? You're still no spring chicken. But I feel like he should be able to, as being healthy, because I was going to draft him last year. I think I actually might have drafted him last year, and then I had to basically drop his ass. But I'm here for redemption stories. So I hope that he comes back, and then him and Olave could be an amazing tandem. And then basically with Kamara in the back. That the safe, it's not even a safe pick. It's the obvious pick. But I'm a gambler. I'm a maverick. I'm going for it. Call me a homer. I'm saying the Falcons are going to win the NFC South.
Okay. Oh.
I saw them that one. It was one possession. It was one possession that I saw, and it looked as though I had to peek out that thing and look, and I was like, oh, it looks good. It looks kind of good. I believe in it. It looks good. Yo, no, seriously. Ritter looked like he was hitting them. He knew exactly what to do. At the same time, it was only like they only put him out there for one possession.
Bijan Robinson is going to take the NFL by storm.
I got him in 2 leagues, baby. I got him in 2 leagues. Let's go. Yes. I am biased.
Going to take this league by storm. Like, he is a beast running with men.
I feel like, not Kittles. What's his name? Kyle Pitts. I feel like Pitts better start grabbing some balls. Pause. But at the same time, he or Bijan is gonna be like, Coach, go ahead and throw me them things, man. I got this. Ain't nobody gonna take me down in the middle of the field. Who they got? Right. Safeties ain't gonna grab me. Yep. Go ahead and try. Let's go with this. Plain simple. Right. Let's go. I feel like I see it. He's ready. That one little mini. You ever see somebody catch a pass? That's a crazy hard pass to catch, but it looks like it was like so easy. That pass was behind him like this, and he turned his body and didn't even stop moving. In one, in rhythm, in one step, he caught that pass far behind him and turned around and caught 14 yards or something like that. Basically, he caught the first down. But I was just like, this could work. And then basically he threw it to London, and then he threw it to Kyle Pitts, and then he hit Hollins. If my draft was really, really, really deep, Mac Hollins is actually another dude that looked like he's on a mission too. It looked good. So I'm just like, you know what? They got a good squad. It's just Ritter.
Falcons have a trend. They give your hopes up where they got the game on lock. And at the last minute, they be doing something.
Damn.
There you go. Exactly.
That's sports though, man. I mean, hey, that's we here for it every single year. We're here. Kick me, punch me, tell me lies. I'm here for it. All right. So next we got the AFC South. All right. So basically you chose the Saints. I chose the Falcons.
Mortal enemies. Wow. There you go.
I know. Hey. Oh my goodness. Don't be in the city. Don't be out in the streets when they in town in New Orleans or in Atlanta. Don't go get no wings. You better go get your wings at Publix or Whole Foods. It's real in the streets.
South. So let's see here. AFC South consists of Jacksonville, Indy.
Yep.
The Titans.
Yep.
And Houston.
Yep. Who you got?
So, Houston has their rookie quarterback who does look good, but they also have a beast of a running back in Pierce. Indy has a rookie quarterback as well, but they don't got Taylor. So I don't know on that one. And then Indy also lost their starting wide receiver. They also lost their starting cornerback for the year. Whew. You know what? I'm running with Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been a beast team for the last 2 seasons. And then, they got the quarterback whisperer, at their head coach. I mean, what he did when he was with Philly and brought them a Super Bowl, and now he's in Jacksonville. I'm telling you, Jacksonville got the quarterback. Jacksonville spent money in free agency. Money in free agency. So their defense is prime. Their offense is prime. I'm running with Jacksonville. Hands down, not even a question.
I mean, I'm going to touch on all the other teams, basically, just a little bit in a second, but I'm just going to go ahead and just put my ticket in. Jacksonville, obviously. That offense is absolutely primed. Trevor Lawrence is he's sunshine. He's sunshine. So plain and simple, he could run the ball. He could throw the ball a ton. They got Calvin Ridley, people.
Oh
and
God.
He has fresh legs. Legs. And I mean,
he don't place no more bets.
Oh my goodness! Right there, I'm gonna go ahead and book them for the playoffs. As an easy go winning their division.
Can you say a quick message, real quick, just to put that out there, Mr. Ridley, if you're listening, I would just like to say, please just go sit down, go play the game, go home, watch CNN. Don't look at no sports when you at home. Don't touch your phone. Don't answer phone call. CNN.
I don't want to hear you say over or under. No words out their vocabulary.
Oh man!
You sitting on nobody's couch.
There you go.
Stop the foolishness, like my dad would say. Stop the foolishness.
Facts.
Plain and simple. So, and Jacksonville has ETN, which I'm hoping to see him. I keep hearing about him. I have not been able to see what he can basically bring.
Out last year. Remember, his rookie season, he got hurt, so he sat out the entire year. So last year, technically, was his rookie year. He balled. He did, but you have to realize they didn't have the squad that they do now. Now that they have the wide receivers on the either side, they got
and Evan Ingram.
Yep, exactly. And now that they have that, they can spread the ball, which makes it prime where they can't stack the box, and he can go put in work like he did when he was at Clemson.
Absolutely. I mean, so I'm very optimistic about that team. I have drafted. I tried to get Calvin Ridley in all of my drafts, but I ended up with Christian Kirk on at least 2 of my drafts. So I mean, I know, but at the same time, sometimes I feel like he's good. I feel like he's going to give me what he needs to give me. I have other better wide receivers on my team. He's like my 3rd, 4th wide receiver. So
he's great. He just can't hold on to the ball.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? I think that I feel good juju on that team right now. I feel good juju on that team right now. So I feel like they're gonna do well. As far as the Titans, basically, of course they have King Henry out there, but Tannehill, they need to part ways. They should have. I personally felt that in this draft they should have went after a quarterback and let him stand behind. They did.
Last 2 drafts. They first round. They drafted quarterbacks in the first round the last 2 years running. They just drafted old dude from Kentucky.
Well, roll some dice and figure out which one you're going to pick, and let Tannehill go ahead and take somewhere. Go sit somewhere.
Yeah, they literally the last 2 drafts drafted a quarterback first round, and the last two they just drafted. He was from Kentucky. I can't think of his name, but yeah, he came out from Kentucky. That's who they got. And then they decided, to go get. Remember, they traded for what's his name from Arizona as their wide receiver.
So they're bad at drafting, is what you're telling me. Because you saying that he drafted a Kentucky quarterback. Is this really
okay? Yeah.
I'm just saying basically that they some teams are absolutely great, and some teams basically just get lucky and just try to ride that luck for as long as possible. I remember from a long time ago, I read a post. It was a very, very long ass post by Gilbert Arenas, but he was basically talking about owners or franchises, specifically for the NBA, of course. But he basically said there are 3 types of teams, or 4 types of teams, depending on how you look at it. You have the teams that are every single year trying to win the championship. Every single year, trying to win a championship. And then you have teams that basically know that they are, at least their season tickets will be sold, and they will be just fine if they basically get at least a high draft pick every single year. They are really not seriously concerned with trying to actually compete. And then you have the teams basically that's trying to be a number 1 team. They're trying to get up there, you know what I mean? But then there's teams that's like right in the middle that there's just like, I don't care if it basically, it is fine. And we drafted the guy, and he basically sells some tickets, and we make it to the playoffs because we're in a garbage division. So we why not? What else is someone going to do in Tennessee?
Right.
on a Sunday. I
don't know what Tennessee is doing right now. They're having a fire sale. Like, it's when they got rid of AJ Brown, I knew it was a wrap for the team. I'm like, what? You got rid of your star wide receiver? For real? All right. Yep. Yeah. That team is
Nope. I say they might as well go ahead and scrap it and go ahead and start from scratch, and let Henry go somewhere good, so he could basically get at least a good 2-year contract somewhere. You know what I mean? Wave Tannehill. You don't even need to wait. Don't go ahead and read him up. Don't read him up, or either that, or tell me you believe in one of the quarterbacks you got, and if you don't believe in that quarterback, go ahead and trade for somebody's backup, because I'm sure at least somebody's backup that's out there who basically might be happy, and then Tannehill could go over there. But Tannehill, the only thing he's good at is handing it off to Henry. I said it. The Colts, which is funny, is my brother's favorite team, and so he's a homer. So of course he drafted Quentin Richardson to be his starting quarterback, and he drafted him very early enough that I was just like, "Word, son." I'm like, "Son, really?" I was like, "Oh my God, you're such a homer."
The Colts would have been a contender for the AFC South, but the moment that the Taylor situation popped off, they lost their starting wide receiver, they lost their starting cornerback. It was a wrap. I'm sorry, it was done at that point. So Richardson has his 2 safety nets on offense are gone, and so you have a rookie who doesn't really have a safety net anymore, and you're throwing him to the line. You're throwing him to the wolves. You're
throwing him to the wolves, and please confirm for me in my mind. To me, I feel like the best gift that you can give a rookie quarterback is a seasoned running back.
Facts, because it takes pressure off of the quarterback to throw the football. Absolutely.
while you're basically, you know, getting your offensive line solidified, you know, you basically, you could beat that running back as much as possible. You could beat him up, you know what I mean? And he's going to take it and he's going to run it 35 times for that whole game. And then you, every once in a while, you let your kid, you let your quarterback do a game action, or just basically drop back 4 steps and just put it up for whatever undrafted free agent running wide receiver you have, because you basically don't have anybody left. It's just like it's like Saquon. In my brain, I thought to myself, like, oh, they're smart. They're getting Daniel Jones and they have Saquon Barkley. So while Daniel Jones is learning, they have a running back they can rely on, who can do a lot of different things, but they're not valuing them.
Anyway, about the East.
Another time.
So that's what.
And the Texans is unnecessary to even mention.
Yeah. So Indy is just and we're not gonna. We're good.
Right. So NFC East actually is next. Oh, so
all right. NFC
let's go.
East. The fun. So NFC East, we'll go team by team. Washington is the bottom of the totem pole. Why? Let's give a round of applause. Let's give an Arsenio Hall. Who. Dan Snyder is gone, baby. Dan Snyder is gone. Who. So
do you think they should keep the Commanders as a name?
Now, that's what people were talking about. They're talking about, yes, they're keeping Commanders, but you realize people are actually petitioning to bring back the team Redskins? Like,
who?
Like you just yes, they're actually petitioning to bring back Redskins.
I need you people out there to fight against that impulse. No. Bad. No. We don't go backwards. We go forward. Forward. I'm gonna put a better name than Commanders.
But yeah, so right now, Commanders, you're at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm sorry. Until you guys get yours, figure out what kind. Now, mind you, they got Eric, the best offensive coordinator. They do. And I think he can turn that team around, but until I actually see something, they're on my bottom. Next, I am sorry to tell you, it's your Giants. Giants is number 3. Why? I don't trust Daniel Jones. I'm sorry. No. No. When I saw they paid that man what they paid him, I was like, no. Are you serious? That man, no. He had one good year and you all are dropping those kind of dimes on him? Come on. And then you didn't want to pay Saquon? I was like, y'all got to be kidding me. You gonna put all your eggs in Daniel Jones' basket and leave Saquon on the side of the road like a redheaded stepchild, with his thumb out trying to get a ride home. Okay. Go ahead, New York. I see you. Well done. The second, the Cowgirls. I'm sorry, Dak. I can't trust Dak. And Dak in the clutch in big games has choked every single time. Every time. It doesn't matter who's behind him at running back. It doesn't matter who's at wide receiver. Dak chokes every single time in big games. It is inevitable. So, Philly, I would like to give some praise to the Philadelphia Bulldogs. Philly, your GM, if he doesn't win GM of the year for the second straight year, there's a problem. Somebody behind the scenes got paid off. Because the Philadelphia Bulldogs, 2 straight years you drafted defensive players from the University of the Championship of Georgia. That defense,
the fix is in.
That front seven is going to wreck hell on earth. That front seven is mean. They are fast. They are big, and they are just plain dominant.
How in the hell did we let them get homeboy from Georgia? Why were they even so high in the draft?
That was Falcons' fault. That was Atlanta's fault. Because Atlanta went with B.J. Robinson and allowed him to fall to Philly at 9. That was Atlanta. Yep.
Which is what you need, Atlanta. You need defense.
And everybody thought he was going to Atlanta. But the moment they picked
Bijan,
Philly was like, they didn't. Did they really? No. Hold up. I'm dreaming.
Right. Oh my God. We got better. We got better.
Yeah, we did. And then they traded back in and got his teammate at linebacker. I'm telling you, woo! Philadelphia Bulldogs. So, with that being said, the GM also made a trade with Detroit to get another University of Championship Bulldogs as they running back in, say it with me, Swift. So you got Jalen Hurts, Swift, AJ Brown. Come on.
Devontae Smith.
NFC East goes to Philly.
Trust me, I was trying to get Devontae Smith, but I only ended up with AJ Brown, so I'll take the consolation prize. Some consolation prize.
The man got 11 touchdowns, 1,200 yards last year?
Nah, son. Arguably, basically, he could. The Devontae Smith, low key, almost had better numbers than AJ Smith had.
He did. No, he was right there. No, they were but both of them back to back. They were
exactly I feel like AJ Brown had a higher yardage, but Devontae Smith was right behind him with less targets.
Devontae Smith is faster. Devontae Smith, his route running is absolute. That's why he was a killer at Alabama. Is because his route running. I mean, it's just smooth.
Absolutely. I feel like, go ahead, continue. I'm gonna let you get to
I got Philly. Philly's
that's
my
the team.
point. That's what
Philly.
Run with.
All right, so I'm an honest kind of person. Say what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. NFC East. I'm an honest person. I understand completely. I'm not like, pie in the sky. I'm not trying to, think of any type of thing. But I feel like it's going to end the way it ended last year. And it's just basically, maybe I'm just is a little bit of a homer inside of me where I'm thinking pie in the sky, and there's a chance, Timmy. There's a chance. Rudy. There's a chance. There's a chance. So, okay. Bottom of the barrel, Commanders. Now, I think is a very intriguing move that they made, bringing in Eric Bieniemy. They have a quarterback, and the young quarterback, basically, I can't remember his name for the Commanders. They like him, and supposedly he looked really good in the preseason. I haven't got a chance to see any film on him, but that's dope. And then they have Terry McLaurin out there, and they have a couple of other weapons. They have some good running backs out there. So I'm hoping that basically they don't play spoilers and then the head-to-heads in the conference. In the division, but they're going to be someone out there that's going to be just nipping at the heels of my team. But I feel like my team has enough, at least. Weapons, targets, not weapons. Maybe we have a weapon. We have 2 weapons on offense, and we have a couple of pistols. So basically, but at the same time, I feel like Daniel Jones. I feel like I never really felt like he was the quarterback that we want or need. He was a quarterback we had. It was malpractice by our old GM to even draft him in the first place. I'm sure Joe Shane, if he had a chance to redo it, he would have drafted Jalen Hurts the year after. And he would have basically just punted with some backup running back or something, because could you imagine if the Giants would have drafted Jalen Hurts the following year after we drafted Daniel Jones, when people was like, who? Daniel who? Where he played at? Duke? Yep. Duke?
Yep.
Oh, and I mean, you know, I'm going to say it's nepotism at its highest, basically, where you just, he comes from the Manning tree. And I think that pretty much got him in the door. And his quote unquote intangibles, you know, were a draw, but at the same time, he's not the kind of quarterback we need. He's not our star. He's a man. He's a player. He's not our star. We need to go back out there and start looking for a star, or else we're going to waste all this young talent we have coming in here.
Shout out to Duke for the upset on Clemson. Shout Duke. Y'all did the damn thing. Mad love to you. Shout out to Duke. Well done. Great job. Great win.
No doubt. But at the same time, I'm not like, you know, I mean.
All right. So who do you got?
Duke. Anyway, okay, so I have my Giants right after, right above the Commanders, winning out. But at the same time, just like last year, I feel like the Giants are going to do enough to grab a wild card, because I don't feel like there's a lot of really, really good NFC teams like how it is in the AFC. I mean, you know, the top 7 in the AFC is going to be crazy. But in the NFC, it's up for grabs. So I think the Giants should have, even though I think we have a really, really tough schedule, of course, playing against the Cowboys and the Eagles twice this year. It's going to be tough, but I think they're going to fight hard. And I think that our coach is going to basically dial up some really good things. And if Daniel Jones doesn't show it this year, I need them to eat that $160 million that they promised him and go get somebody. Because we are wasting time. We are wasting time.
He literally just signed it. Like, that is that is pretty much your salary cap.
I need to see the Zapruder film on that assassination right there. I can't believe it. My eyes won't let me believe it.
The only way you're out of that contract if he decides to go ahead and say, you know what, I retired.
I can't believe we did that. I can't really believe it. I always thought to myself, okay,
you're stuck with him for at least 3 seasons.
They could have franchise tagged him and paid Saquon Barkley a fraction of what they paid him what they paid Daniel Jones. They could have franchise tagged him and paid Saquon straight up. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. It's just sad. It's malpractice sometimes that basically GMs do to teams. I will say definitely, Omar, your team has. I never really saw them. You know, it's like the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a solid, damn near 100-year-old franchise that basically has solid ideals of what football is and doesn't go after, you know, BS. So kudos to the Green Bay Packers. Sometimes I wish that that the Giants had better owners, but we're stuck with whoever basically had the biggest wallet at the time. So anyway, of course, right after that, it pains me to say the Cowboys, but I'm going to say that, as always, they don't live up to expectations.
Ever.
And they will definitely if Dak stays healthy for the whole entire season, they should make the playoffs, but they will not be the top of the division. They have a decently well-rounded offense, but at the same time, some people are banged up. Pollard, I heard, is already hurt also. So
Pollard isn't gonna but at the same time, you can't feed Pollard 25 times in a game. Pollard is not that type of running back.
And who they got? Deuce Vaughn. They're gonna wheel Deuce Vaughn out there basically to back up Pollard. Hell, the Giants might mess around and take the Cowboy spot. Feel it, baby. I feel it. It's in the air. I can feel it coming in the air.
But with that being said, that leaves you with one team left to take the division, which is, drums please,
The Eagles.
Say what?
The Eagles.
Now, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
There you go. Look, you can snarl, you can hurl all you want to, but the Eagles have put together one of the best teams in the NFL. Thanks to their GM. Their GM, I don't know what his ties are to UGA, but I'm telling you, from here on out, they are called the Philadelphia Bulldogs.
How the hell did they let them get that dude from Georgia in the first? I cannot believe it. I said, what the hell went up there?
That was Atlanta, because Atlanta went with the running back instead of the defensive tackle.
So the rich keep getting richer. Fine.
There you go.
Fine. That's how everything else goes. Why can I not believe it from a team? I mean, a team that's in the biggest, that's the most wealthy or highest grossing sports franchises in the whole entire world. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we gonna come back though. We coming back. Listen. We don't win it every single year. We're gonna win it at least once a decade. And that's why we're that's why we're the best.
If you feel you're gonna win with Daniel at the helm, cool.
I do not have confidence in the captain. I do not. I feel like Saquon, I feel it. He's a running back. He's not as important as the quarterback. But I do not have. I have 60% faith in Daniel Jones. And that's a damn shame.
Of winning the lottery 5 times over than you all winning the Super Bowl with Daniel Jones.
I have more faith in Jordan Love than I do Daniel Jones.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
That's why I'm drinking.
Right. I see why.
They don't know how to treat us.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I can't wait to call you on Sunday night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're going to be drooling after that game.
Bump that. We coming out with energy. We have seen the light, and their name is the Detroit Lions. Daniel in the Lions Den. And he came down and he took down Goliath. And I believe it. Daniel Jones will go out there and take down that Goliath, Dak.
Yeah, I think God just went ahead and turned his chair around.
He didn't hit the button. Hit the button.
Exactly.
Fine. It's all right. We're going to be okay.
Next.
AFC East.
Ooh.
The Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets.
So AFC East has got to be the second toughest division right now in the league. Only because Aaron Rodgers is now part of the New York Jets. Buffalo has been a beast, a dominant beast, taking the AFC the last 3 years running because they have a stellar quarterback. They have a boss tight end. They just drafted an even more amazing tight end. They have one of the best wide receivers in the game. They have Dalvin Cook's younger brother is killing it,
James.
In Buffalo. So their defense, led by Von Miller, which I can't believe he still went there. But
is he healthy?
Is
he healthy?
No, he's actually going to miss the first 4 games of the season.
Okay. He's coming back. He's the man.
They still have a dominant, defense. So you got them. You got Miami. Miami, man, Tua is killing it. Then you got like Miami's got to be the fastest offense I've ever seen in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You got, Waddle. You have the Cheetah. You have Tua. Then you have unfortunate that for them, they're doing running back by committee, but all their running backs run a 4.5 or 4.6. So, I mean, that offense is speed. Then they spent all kinds of cash on that defense. So they are looking prime on that defense. Then you got New England. See, this is where I said that Tom Brady made Belichick, and everybody was like, "Oh, Belichick, man, he's been doing it by himself. He's been." What happened? Brady left. Where Belichick at? What he do? What happened? What happened? Brady wins a Super Bowl, and Belichick can't even get into the playoffs.
Ooh.
So,
you know what?
New England.
I mean, you got receipts.
Now you got the New York Jets with a new Hall of Famer at the helm, throwing to Garrett Wilson, giving it to Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, with probably one of the fastest, hardest hitting defenses in the league. I'm just saying. So if I had to pick, it comes this whew. If it had to come down to it, I'm rolling with the Jets. Jets haven't won the AFC East since 2009, I believe. 9. I think that's the last year that they won it. Right before the whole butt fumble, took place. But yeah, I'm rolling with the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers, he has a chip on his shoulder. And he's going to light it up, and everybody around him is so stoked and so hyped, and they're going to want to ball out for him. And
I really think that that's going to be where the gravity is going to be at right now in the AFC East for a little bit. Okay, so I have the Patriots, unfortunately, at the bottom of this division. I don't feel like Daniel Jones. I don't feel like Mac Jones is the guy. Is this like? Is it? I mean, we have been watching football since we were young. I really started watching football when I was I'd say high school, I guess, just ninth grade or around like when I was around when the Buffalo was losing every single year in the championship game. And I was around when when the Giants won it in the 80s. You know what I mean? Actually, no, it wasn't 1980. It was like 84 or something like that. I don't remember exactly when it was. But I've been around football long enough to know a good quarterback when I see him. To know at least when he has it, when it at least the current standard of it. You know what I mean? And I just feel like sometimes players they look good because of the system. And I feel like Mac Jones was a system quarterback, and I don't think that Belichick has a system. And dare I say, I think it might be getting to be the end of Bill Belichick's time with New England. I think that they need to save that franchise from falling into a paper bag over the head era of their fanship. I think that they basically need to go for broke, trade off whoever they have, get a new coach, Does it have to be a Belichick tree coach? But they need to basically go ahead and do the rebuild, or else they're going to fall far behind the Eagles. I'm sorry, not the Eagles. They're going to fall far behind the Jets and the Bills for a very long time, and the Dolphins. They're going to be the bottom of the barrel, where they basically used to be the top. It's going to be sad. They need to go ahead and scrap.
They dominated for a decade.
You know, it's going to be unrecognizable. Unrecognizable. Right. Okay, then you have the Dolphins. Now that's what I find intriguing. I think that they could be one of the top the top offenses in the entire league.
Yep.
If Tua could stay healthy.
Facts.
Now, that's without
jiu-jitsu, so he can learn how to not get concussions
fall the right way.
You're right.
You got to be like you drunk. You basically just everything is limp immediately. He need to send him up to Brooklyn, New York, over by Utica, and basically let them hang out with the fiends out there, where they basically know exactly how to be loose as a willow. They need to basically knows how to how to. But anyway, sorry, that's a very serious topic. I don't pray anything on him. I hope that he stays healthy. I actually drafted him in one of my leagues as my starter.
My other quarterback, Tua. That was my other quarterback.
Exactly. You know, I think that he's going to throw for a ton of yards to Tyreek Hill, who already basically said that he's going for 2,000 yards, and Waddle, who has great chemistry with Tua. He had 2,000 plus yard wide receivers on his team, and they were balling until basically he got hurt, and those were very unfortunate injuries that he suffered. And I personally just think about him myself, like, how much are you going to give for the game? Which honestly, when it all comes down to it, is just a game. You would rather be here, but sometimes if you love it so much, sometimes you basically take that chance. It's almost like Bronny, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy that he basically is healthy. But I think of myself when I was a kid. And I remember when they told me that I had a heart murmur in high school, and so they wouldn't let me play high school basketball. But then I got to play college basketball, and they were just like, "Oh, it's fine." You know what I mean? I went and got an echocardiogram, and they basically was just like, "Oh yeah, this is a functional heart murmur," would like that. But I would have played even though they were just like, "Yeah, we don't know if you're going to make it. We're going to go out there and play. This is what you do." But anyway, so basically the Dolphins, they're going to be out there and they're going to go for it. And I hope that Tua basically stays healthy, because if they do, they could basically probably be higher than the Bills, honestly. Because I feel like the Bills, even though they're number 2 on my list, I feel like they kind of missed their window. How do you feel about that?
That's what a lot of people have been saying. Like,
I kind of feel like they missed their window.
2 straight years against Kansas City, and you had it. You had it. Like, you had the knockout. You had that moment to put them out, and yeah.
I feel like definitely missed out by not having a better running back there. Singletary did what he could for however long he had the job, but at the same time, I felt that they should have improved that position a long time ago, to basically keep at least keep Allen as healthy as possible. But at the same time, the way that he force feeds it to Diggs and Gibbs could be open, and I know that there was times where he could have gotten the ball too, but they force fed it to Diggs. I mean, Diggs is amazing. I get it completely, but at the same time, to really, really capitalize on your offense, you need to at least have a second.
They do.
It wasn't like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Gabe Davis could have gotten the ball more, and I feel like the fact that they're favoring Diggs so much is basically handicapping them. I feel like it's handicapping them. And I feel like because of this hiccup, it's not, your window is not only predicated on you and your team. Your window is also predicated on the other teams that you compete against. And I feel like the other teams that they're competing against have leapfrogged over them. Like definitely Burrow and the Bengals are definitely to me a safer bet than the Bills to go deep into the playoffs. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I feel like with a top defense and weapons all around the offense and a cold as ice quarterback behind the line who's going to basically know exactly what to do. He's wide up out there. You know what I mean? He's going to be out there slinging the ball. And I mean, he's going to, no fooling. He's going to try to get an MVP this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Easily. He's going to try to get an MVP this year.
Actually get 5 MVPs. He'll be the first person ever with 5 MVPs.
If he just wanted to have fun and have a nice ride off into the sunset, he could have screwed around with the Green Bay Packers for another 2 years. Yeah, he decided to say, I'm going to go to another team. And if he does that, and Tom Brady already did that and won a damn Super Bowl, he got to win a Super Bowl.
I think Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl with Tampa would not be as special as Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl for the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers wins a Super Bowl for the New York Jets,
absolutely agree.
He may not go down in history as Tom Brady, being the GOAT like that for Super Bowl wins, but I promise you, he will not be far behind his name in the legacy factor.
His name will never be forgotten.
In New York, they will build a statue in New York for Aaron Rodgers if he brings them a Super Bowl.
Joe Namath.
I can promise you that.
That's it. Exactly. I mean, he would be. God, New York would be. The Jets fans would be obnoxious. That's all I gotta say. It would be obnoxious. God. Jets.
Imagine that parade.
Oh, they are not allowed to have a parade on Broadway. That is Champions Row. Only champions go there.
And the Jets. Man, if the Jets win the Super Bowl. Sorry, girlie.
Okay, I'm fine. All right.
So,
but it's okay. It's cool. So what's up? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we both agree the Jets basically should win that. But I mean, everybody still says, but the Bills are still, great. Anyway, NFC's North. Your neck of the woods.
Mine. It belongs to me. All right.
Go ahead.
So the bottom of the barrel is going to go to the Bears. The reason is the Bears are still unproven. Everybody keeps saying Justin Fields is trash. I'm sorry. Justin Fields is New York hot summer trash. Seriously. He is. Like everyone's like, oh no, it's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. The fact of the matter is, look, I'm sorry. He's third year in the league, and he is a fantastic running back playing quarterback. He is.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic running back playing quarterback.
But he's not even Cam Newton yet.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm just saying, so the Bears, they don't have an identity. They keep changing coaches, changing GMs, changing this, changing that, thinking, oh, this is going to make it better. Oh, no, this was the problem over here. No, next year. No, it's that problem over there. They don't know what their identity is. So until they figure out what their identity is, they're going to be at the bottom. Next is Minnesota. You know what? No. Next is Green Bay. Green Bay is number 3. The only reason why I'm putting Green Bay 3 is because Green Bay is young at offense. Our starting quarterback, this is his 4th year in the league, but this is his 1st year starting. He has 1 start under his belt. Our most experienced wide receivers are in their 2nd year. And it was just announced those 2 wide receivers won't even be playing on Sunday. So all of our receivers and tight ends are all going to be rookies. All of them. Every last one of them. They're all rookies. So, which means we're going to be running the ball. You might as well just put a big old sign that says, don't throw. We're running it. Stack the box.
Which is why I have Aaron Jones.
So I'm gonna say so with that, I'm putting Green Bay at 3 until they can until I see that continuity, and see how Love plays. I can't put them at the top. Minnesota is going to be 2, and Minnesota is 2 at it by default. The reason they're 2 by default is because of what I said about Green Bay. If Love is more if I see how Love plays against the Bears on Sunday, and Love is as glorious as they're saying, Green Bay goes 2, Minnesota goes 3. And that's because Minnesota, with they slow, dumb, retarded selves, decided to get rid of their top running back in Dalvin Cook to go with Matheson,
who never really balled out anyway ever in his life. When I used to pick up Dalvin Cook, because Dalvin Cook was the man. I used to pick him up whenever he was available, and he dropped to me at like 5 or whatever like that. I was cool taking Dalvin Cook. But then basically, of course, every once in a while he would get hurt. So you would have Alexander Mattison as his handcuff. But when I had Alexander Mattison in when he was hurt, he didn't do nothing. I could have had somebody else in there, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He never did anything. So you now have Matheson as your starting running back, who's never proven that he could actually be a starting running back. So then your wide receivers, you got 2 of the fastest wide receivers, Justin Jefferson and Addison, who's a rookie out of USC, baller. Give you that. You just paid your tight end the highest paying, made him the highest paying tight end in the history of the NFL. That man is walking into a bank with the biggest smile, looking like the damn Joker. So, don't get me wrong. Kirk Cousins can ball. He can. But like Dak, when it comes to being on the big stage, he chokes. There you go. Then on defense, you got rid of your baller in Zeke as your linebacker. You dealt him to Cleveland. Like, what were you thinking? Like, for real. I'm like, gosh. So, and then you also dealt away your safety net at wide receiver. You dealt him to Carolina. So I don't know what you're doing, Minnesota, but it ain't trying to win nothing.
Don't blame the Giants don't blame the Giants for knocking you out of the playoffs just last year. Plain and simple. Exactly. Y'all turned back into the pumpkins that you guys were from the beginning. Y'all squeezed out a couple of wins and basically somehow won y'all division. They won that division. You know what I mean? So it's all good, but it's
Green Bay. I have to say 2A, 2B. So now, I can't believe I'm saying this. The Detroit Lions, number 1, taking the division. They are ballers. We were talking about them earlier. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Montgomery. You got Reynolds. You got a rookie baller for a tight end. Their defense with Hutchinson, And I mean, they are just ballers. I mean, golly. I just for the first time since 1992, Detroit is going to win the NFC North.
Even when Megatron was out there, they wasn't winning nothing.
They did no.
Damn.
They did not. Why do you think he quit so early?
What a waste. Why do you think, what's the name? Quit.
Yes, Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Come on, Detroit, do better. Do better.
So
seriously.
Now, first time since 1992, the Lions, they taking it.
I give respects and mad props to Jared Goff also. When he was coming out of college, they basically was really kind of issued on his name, saying that they don't think that because he didn't specifically come from very meager meager beginnings, football is not his number one goal or focus. But my man stays taking teams. When the team is right and you put him on the team, he could take that team to the Super Bowl. Plain and simple. I'm not saying that the Lions are Super Bowl ready or anything like that, but at the same time, he's a decent quarterback, and he could have been a New York Giant, but they basically decided that they went another damn way. I would have been fine with a Jared Goff, although at the same time, I don't know if I would. I think I would have rather paid a Jared Goff that money than pay Daniel Jones.
Right. Give me 1 second. I got to be right back.
Go ahead. Well, while he's gone, I'm going to just basically say thank you guys if you're still here. I know it's been a while that this recording is going, but at the same time, we're just having fun and having conversations about football. We're almost done, and we're just going to finish up this list of divisions and picking our favorites for the divisions. We have 1, 2, 3. We only have 3 more divisions left. So when he comes back, we're going to basically finish this up and we are going to sign out. But I really appreciate you guys. If you're going to go ahead and leave us right now, that's fine. I really appreciate you for hanging around with us. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel as soon as you can. Share it with your friends if you think that basically we mentioned some things that were interesting. And if you're listening to me on podcasts, go ahead and drop me some ratings. I really appreciate that. So until next time, we really appreciate you. And here he comes. No, it's fine. It's fine. We've been going a while, but we have 3 more divisions left, and then we're gonna sign off. Okay.
All
right. Next division is AFC North.
Now I said the AFC East is the second hardest division. The AFC North comes in as the hardest division that there is. Every team from top to bottom is lit. They all 4 have top-notch quarterbacks. The Browns, I honestly think, is that sleeper team with Watson now playing a full year, from suspension, off-season with his team, with his boys out there doing it. I think Cleveland is going to ball. Then you have Baltimore. Lamar is going to go off. He finally has receivers, and he had all of his running backs are healthy. Finally, he is going to go off. Pittsburgh, Tomlin doesn't know how to lose. I don't care who is behind center. Tomlin does not know how to lose. So Tomlin is the only coach in NFL history to never have a losing season. Period. So, and then you have Cincy. Cincy had with Joe Burrow. I'm just saying, the stud. He just signed that new contract. He gonna do what he does best. He gonna show why he need them dollars.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I'm gonna have to go with Baltimore. Baltimore, Lamar is ready to prove to everybody he is that guy. He about to shut all the haters up. He about to throw that ball left, right, center, and backwards. And he literally about to shut down all haters, saying that, oh, he didn't deserve, he hasn't done nothing. He about to show everybody what he can do.
Okay. I'm gonna say that definitely I agree with a lot of your points. The Browns definitely will be the bottom. I will I'll be interested in seeing what Deshaun Watson can do. But at the same time, I don't think they really have enough to really compete amongst these other up and coming championship contenders that they have above them. Next, I feel it will be. This is hard to even pick, man. This is hard to even pick which order they're going to be in. I will say this. I believe that the Bengals are going to win the division. Although the Steelers are going to be a close wild card.
So that
and I feel like the Ravens are going to be a wild card. I feel like this is going to mirror the NFC North that basically gets in 2 wild cards out of the same division.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any of the other divisions really having this type of talent inside of there. I can't see where all 3 of them are going to basically end up.
AFC East may put in 2. Buffalo, mm-hmm. they may put in 2. Shoot. AFC East may put in 3. They may put in 3, depending. If Miami balls out, you may have Buffalo, the Jets, and Miami in it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I feel like it's one of those years where it's just like, besides the Patriots, not the Patriots, sorry, the Chiefs. I was thinking about Patriots. Besides the Chiefs, it's anybody's Super Bowl. You know, I mean, there's no guarantee that the Eagles are going to go back.
True.
You know, there is. Who knows how the kind of potential of firepower of the Ravens, basically. I think it would more so also depend on how good the Ravens have reloaded their defense to see how good they are. So, and the Bengals, I expected them to basically be a high-flying, high-scoring team. Although at the same time, I feel like they might have some trouble brewing later on down the road with T. Higgins. His extension is up before the end of the year. And basically, if they do not pay him, it's at the very least, A, of course, he might walk. And B, it might affect his play this year. You know? So there's some potential for and also Joe Burrow, even though he's basically the $275 million man, he's starting off the league. He's starting off the season with an injury.
Yep, true.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying that I feel like the Steelers and the Ravens are going to be right underneath them. The safe bet. I'm going to use the safe bet. I'm going to use that safe bet cover and say that basically the Bengals are the safe bet to win this highly talented division, but the Steelers and the Ravens are going to be basically clawing to get that. And I feel like the Steelers defense is going to be basically on point this year, and they're going to have just enough talent on the offensive end to win a 17-10 victory. All right. Next, the next division is the NFC West. Sheesh. That's how you approach it. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you got Rams, you have San Francisco, you have Seattle, and who's the 4th team?
Rams, Cardinals,
Seattle, San Francisco, Cardinals. Oh,
Arizona.
That's why
exactly. That's why the ugh.
Okay, please tell. I'm gonna make this quick, but I gotta ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a team tanking before the season even started?
They said,
like, how you
I did
legitimately,
it.
how you say your starting quarterback is not healthy enough to start the year, and so he can't play the first 4 games.
It's like
Then,
so obvious.
right, so obvious. Like, how do you tank and the season not even start?
I love football, but the NBA is a much more superior team league when it comes to cheating. They it's basically trying to disguise it rather than be like, okay, it's your turn to get the top prospect. Go ahead and
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
And oh, he didn't work. I didn't like this toy. It's broken. I don't like this toy anymore. I need a new toy. Okay, well, you wait one. If you wait, hey, if you take this lollipop and you wait 1 year, I'll give you Caleb.
Now, Caleb's going to
Okay.
sit out. If the Cardinals are number one, I promise you, Caleb's going back for his senior year. He will
Yes, he
not play.
will. He don't got no time for that. He's gonna be the next one to do an Eli. Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
but
He's
see, Eli, and that's why Eli and LaDainian Tomlinson are always linked because LaDainian was supposed to be a Giant, but and Eli was supposed to be a Charger, but Eli was not going to go play for the Chargers, so they swapped. But yeah, but so I digress. Cardinals, they way down at the bottom.
It's gonna be an ugly. Get out your paper bags, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, terrible. Next, I will have to say, surprisingly, it's going to be the Rams. The Rams, Cooper Kupp's hurt, which absolutely that's devastating. He is their go-to at wide receiver. I don't really think that they have another boss wide receiver now that OBJ is gone.
What's his name again?
Jefferson is there, but
Bond?
Jefferson's
Jefferson,
always
Ben Jefferson, yeah.
yeah.
He's
But
nobody.
he's always been the number 2 guy. So
you got Higbee, but
yeah. Running back, can't really stay healthy. I just
bad attitude.
Yeah, that too. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, no. Rams are number 3. Number 2, Seattle. Only because comeback player of the year. I'm telling you, he has earned it. He came back as Seattle's quarterback last year and has bossed out. I mean, he literally they shipped Russell. He stepped in and he has been playing lights out as Seattle's quarterback.
Mad props to Geno Smith because we didn't really give him a chance at in New York after Eli basically retired. We didn't really give him a chance. We immediately was just like, we got to go get somebody new. So Geno was the sacrificial lamb basically during that 1 year. But at the same time, I feel like he was I forgot where he was before he even got to New York, but he was a pretty decent backup even where he was before. So I knew that he would be good, and I always felt a little bit ashamed as a Giants fan that we treated a player like that who barely got a real chance to get out there, and we just knew what the agenda was, where we were just like we wanted a brand new toy. So yeah, I agree. My whole list is exactly the way yours is, and so continue with the top team.
To top it off, San Francisco.
Yeah,
I feel bad for Trey Lance that he's not there. It sucks. Sorry for you, man. But Purdy came in and bossed out. Purdy took over, balled out, showed out, lights out. I mean, just did it. And then can we give a round of applause? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nick Bosa, highest paid defensive player of all time. That man's contract is stupid. Absolutely ridiculously stupid. He's earned it. Don't get me wrong. He absolutely earned it, but damn. So yes, we got to give it up to San Francisco. They're definitely going to take the division.
Right. Just real quick before we finish up on his 49ers, I will have to say this. Some people might call it superstition, but some superstitions I kind of feel like I've been around sports enough to believe in.
I know what you're gonna say.
I feel like when they basically let go of Trey Lance, I feel like they upset the football gods. I feel like they upset the football gods. And even though I don't think that they're not going to win the division or go to the playoffs because they are a highly talented team, and unless it completely jumps off the rails and wrecks, I don't think that there should be any issue. But at the same time, I don't know.
You know why they drafted Trey Lance in the first place, right?
Who?
You know why they drafted Trey Lance in the first place, right?
To replace Jimmy G.
No.
Go ahead.
Who did San Francisco let go for the most controversial player of all time?
Go ahead, tell me, because I'm
What you do with the quarterback? The kneeling.
Kaepernick. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Think about it. That is why they drafted Trey Lance. They wanted to make amends for that whole debacle.
I bet you. I could, you know what? I'm not even gonna laugh about it. I only laugh because I'm just like, right. You know what I'm saying? I feel it. I mean, I don't know. That is the only reason why they needed to draft a quarterback, because they basically needed to replace the stain on their jersey of basically, benching a Super Bowl quarterback, or kicking him off the team, basically, and the whole entire league boycotting him. Where I'm not even gonna front. I gotta be completely honest. Even though I'm a Giants fan, I saw a very distasteful letter from the ownership, basically regarding Colin Kaepernick and whether or not he was going to be considered for a replacement for Eli Manning after he was leaving. That really just definitely rubbed me the wrong way and smelled as though they didn't want an opinionated person in the room. They said that their fans have written them hundreds of letters saying that they do not want Colin Kaepernick to replace Eli Manning as the quarterback of the New. You out your damn mind? You out your damn mind? Colin Kaepernick? That dude almost won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
He wasn't no bum in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Until that thing actually happened, he was a top quarterback in the league.
Now imagine Cap and Saquon in the same backfield.
Oh my God. That's the dreams that I had in my mind. I was just like, oh my God. But then basically that just shows you, and it's unfair. And at least I can't complain completely because we have actually won two championships in the last 15 years. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll take it. But at the same time, I feel that I'm disappointed. You could be disappointed with your management. I was for a very long time with the Lakers too, until I feel like Rob Pelinka has, turned it around. But that would be another discussion for another sports show. I feel as though the Giants, you need to do better. Do better. I mean, the Knicks need to do better. So I don't know if I feel like New York deserves better.
We're gonna talk about New York another time. That's a whole show in itself, by itself.
But anyway, I agree with everything you said, basically. But I feel like the football gods might mess around and basically have the Seattle Seahawks basically winning the division.
Ooh.
I mean, bro, hey, Cooper Kupp had a setback in his injury recovery. It's so many people. Aaron Donald might be traded before the end of the season. It's a fire sale. because they realized, they said, fuck them picks, and was laughing at Bill Belichick basically for picking somebody that they didn't really covet that high. But at the same time now, so basically since you decided to put Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and and old boy from the Washington Wizards on the team, you think that you're gonna win a championship? Oh, that's nice.
That's funny.
See how that go. We see how that go. We see how that go. You need a team. You need depth.
Okay, period. So you got Seattle. That's spicy. All right. All right. I can see it though. I can see it.
Jackson Smith, the Jigma, Lockett, DK Metcalf. You got what's his name?
The wide receiver. I know what you're talking about.
The running back. What's his name again?
I don't know who the running back is.
I can't remember his name. But he wasn't really one of my targeted running backs, basically, but he was there. Darn.
Yeah, I mean they do.
Oh yeah, Kenneth Walker, but he was a little banged up in off season too. So
yeah, they do have a squad. So all right, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? So they did a sneaky bet to basically, come up and take that if the 49ers aren't thorough. The 49ers still should be thorough, but like they have proven, they might have needed a third string quarterback. Anyway, so we're going to keep on moving on to AFC West, and I believe that is the last one.
And now this one is the oh my gosh, the most embarrassing one.
Who do you have winning this one, Omar?
Oh my gosh. All right, so the AFC West, you got the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and you have the Chargers. The Broncos, they're just a laughable team right now. The quarterback and the head coach, I'm sorry. That is Russell, stop kissing babies. Come on, man. This head coach.
Sneaky bet. Bet they take a dive this whole entire season and get Caleb.
I can see it. But I'm just saying, it's Broncos. Broncos at the bottom. They're just too messy right now.
Caleb with Sean Payton. Wow, that's like Popovich getting Wembanyama. They basically decided that in the off-season meetings. Long time. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it so Arizona wins 2 games this season, and they're basically gonna sorry guys, I didn't want to go into the conspiracy theory things, but basically, come on, man, they're all friends and they're playing the same game against each other.
Yeah, Broncos at the bottom. Next is the Raiders, because the Raiders haven't figured it out to get it together for everybody to play on the exact same accord. And then you got Jimmy G. Jimmy G's in Vegas. Jimmy G's worried about the girls in the back before he's worried about the game. So I'm just saying. Next, I have to go with. After watching the game yesterday, I'm going with Kansas City at number 2.
What?
I'm going with Kansas City at number 2.
What?
After watching yesterday's game,
what?
They losing the offensive coordinator. What? You can absolutely see there is a massive decline and lack of continuity on that team, which leaves the Los Angeles Chargers being my number 1. They finally got an O-line. They finally got a defensive squad. I'm giving it to the Chargers.
Okay.
Oh, also, I'm giving it to the Chargers because the Chargers got one of the best offensive coordinators that is out there. Who was that, you may ask? Dallas Cowboys' former offensive coordinator.
That part. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and just put out this disclaimer. I have Jalen Herbert at least 2 leagues, so I'm definitely a Justin Herbert believer. Number one. Completely agree. Broncos gonna be last. Raiders are going to basically be right above them. Unfortunately, Jacobs and Devontae Adams are there, and they're basically stuck in limbo for a while. And so basically they're set free to go and contend for championships.
I feel so bad for that man. Like, he chose to go to the Raiders to play with his boy from college, only to have his boy 1 year later traded to New Orleans. Like, and now you're stuck with with Jimmy G. Like, I know Adams is pissed.
How many more years is Adams on this is at least his second year. That was his second year.
Yeah, he had 3 more years. He signed a 5-year contract.
Ugh. You got to be quicker than that. Yo, didn't LeBron teach you people anything? Everything short-term moves. Everything short-term moves. Plain and simple. That's how you got to do it. 2 years is a 2-year rental. No, second year is a player option.
Now he did the full max. That's how he got the full max money.
Well, we'll see how that goes. They're going to be basically looking for their new quarterback soon. So, yep. I mean, I know they don't think that Jimmy G is the future.
It can't be.
So it is what it is. All right. So anyway, now we get to the top, the actual people who are worth speaking about. The 2 people who I believe also will make the playoffs. The Chiefs and the Chargers. Now, I feel as though the Chargers have everything you need. Although the defense is suspect, they need to show and prove that you basically got better. They have everything you need. They have Eckler. They have Allen.
Which is another person that is still waiting to get that contract, by the way.
Exactly. They have Williams. They have Quentin Johnson that they just drafted. You know what I mean? So I forgot the name of their tight end, but he's usable basically when you need him. But they could go everywhere they need to be with the offense. The defense just needs to be there. And even though what the Chiefs showed us is that basically Father Time might have been made them lackadaisical and not as sharp with keeping up with the kind of roster that you need to basically inject into this kind of offense. Sometimes Michael Jordan, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those are the kind of people, LeBron James, who make household names out of nobodies. Patrick Mahomes is one of those dudes. And I feel that even though they might have some bumps along the road, I feel that they will work their way. And even if they're a wild card team, they'll be in the Super Bowl. I feel like I believe, but I will give it this caveat. But they need to re-sign Chris Jones.
Well, yeah, that's a given. But so does that mean you're picking them as a division champ?
I'm picking the Chiefs as the division champs.
So that gives them 8 years running as division champs.
It'd be that way. Ask the Patriots how that felt for who knows how long when they had I mean during that Patriots run, who was challenging the Patriots to win the division? Nobody. All 3 of those teams was garbage.
Yep.
They wasn't even halfway good. At least I could say with the NFC East that basically, all 4 of us could beat somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a no-go. But I don't know. I don't know. The way I saw the Chiefs play yesterday, the continuity is just not there. And you can see it isn't there. They're doing running back by committee. They didn't do that last season. They knew who their running back was, and they focused on it. When Clyde Edwards-Helaire got hurt, Pacheco came in, and he balled. He balled in the Super Bowl. And it's just now they're just trying to figure it out.
Right.
So I got to go with the Chargers. I got to go with the Chargers. So it's going to be an interesting season, to say the least, with all the shakeups, the moves, the financial dramas that are going around, holdouts, things such as that. It's really going to be interesting to see how it plays out. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see
it. Same here. So who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, we're going to have to talk about that on another show. I got to at least see. Let's get through the first quarter of the season, and then let's come back and let's get back together after, let's see.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
First quarter. Let's see how the teams are looking after the first quarter, and then let's do a predictor.
Agreed. I hate when shows with the talking heads basically are out there, and they just basically, before the season even starts, they're just like, I believe the Cowboys will win the championship this year, and the Cowboys haven't won in like 25 years. I feel like you need to see what the season looks like. If you pick the Patriots and Tom Brady goes down in a preseason game, or the first game of the season, obviously that completely derails the whole situation. Sometimes you have to see what people have, so you can actually be able to judge what they can do for the season. So yes, let's check back in with that question on week 4 or week 5. Week five. The beginning of bye weeks. Bye weeks begin that week. One other question I want to ask you. So we're gonna answer that question later. And I think that would be definitely better for me to answer, besides just saying the Chiefs right now, because I feel like basically, that's my pick. But at the same time, I need to see what other people are handling or dealing with, and what they have, what they can overcome. So, last question for you. Have you ever watched any of those games, basically, where the teams play overseas?
Yeah.
Did you see the Germany game? I think it was Tampa Bay, and they were playing in Germany, and Tom Brady was playing, and they won.
I think I saw a little bit of it.
It was electric. Can I tell you how electric it was? I thought to myself, I was just like, Germany could have an NFL team.
Overseas, period. They love American football. I mean, I've seen the games in Mexico. I mean, but those stadiums are also like 3 times the stadiums that we have here, because they're all about soccer, and they crowd 200,000-300,000 people in those like, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but they feel, I mean, they literally, those stadiums literally eclipse our stadiums.
Absolutely. But at the same time, they will fill when you have, it's like the Toronto Raptors. That team is like the team of the entire country, rather than just a state or a city. You know what I mean? So the way that German stadium was packed, and like an hour after the game was over, they were still holding hands and swaying with each other, and Sweet Caroline, da da da. They was basically so still into it. It was crazy, and I was just like, yo, I could see a German team, and I could see an English. I could see a UK team, and basically,
it wouldn't happen, because you realize the travel for that team
They go and play a game overseas anyway every single year.
That's one game. But you're talking about a team home base in England. You would have to travel to the United States 8 times a year. And travel through 4 different time zones. How exhausted you would be.
I need to refresh my memory on how long it takes to fly across the Atlantic, or to Germany, which is a little bit further. Obviously, I kind of feel like it's 6.
I think the East Coast it's 8 hours, and then if you're coming from the West Coast, that's an extra. I think they're like 14.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I would say this. I'm not saying no. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying no. I think that definitely, not saying now, but in the next 10 years, there will be a German team, and there will be an English team, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised, but I feel like Mexico City might get a team. They host these teams in certain places to try to attract them and get them into wanting to have a team. Then they could finally claim to be the world champions of football.
Oh my gosh, we're getting into that world. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's definitely a topic for another show. Oh my gosh.
Always coming back. Always coming back. We need a bigger boat.
Well, like I said, it's going to be a very intriguing season this year. Definitely, it's one of the most anticipated seasons I've been wanting to see in a long time.
For NFL and NBA, this is the most anticipated in a very, very long time seasons coming up. I am so thankful for you basically coming on the show and blessing us with your great content about the NFL and about football. And I look forward to many other episodes with us basically just discussing it on our platforms. I think that this is going to be a very good NFL season. And I feel like just like the NBA, I feel like it could be anybody's Super Bowl. I honestly really feel like it could be anybody's Super Bowl. I'm not saying that the Chiefs aren't absolutely great, but I'm not saying that they're not unbeatable. Honestly, what the Lions did last night is the formula. It's the formula. They basically they run the ball and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and the longer they keep him off the field, their defense is nice and fresh. I mean. Run, dink, and dunk. Run, dink, and dunk. That's the formula. Was it the Bills that basically did that to them a couple years ago?
In playoffs, yeah, it was. Bills and Cincy. Cincy
definitely did it to them. Yeah, they were playing small ball with them. Yeah. Yeah, it was. But I mean, that's the obvious reaction that you basically have to a quarterback that is so good with a team that is so in tune with him that if he gets on the field, he's going to figure out a way to carve you apart.
Right.
So the only solution is that he doesn't get off the field, that he doesn't get on the field. It's simple. Why doesn't everybody do it?
Because everybody can't.
Detroit, exactly. And Detroit could. That's why I'm just like Detroit. I believe in them. They'll definitely win that division. But anyway, thank you again. Really appreciate you. You guys can find me at Instagram at CallMeNakomi and on X at CallMeNakomi1. And just email me if you have any ideas or any comments to share. You could basically either drop a comment on the video or you can email me at CallMeNakomi@gmail.com. If you have any, if you want to say goodbye or tell them where to find you, go ahead.
The only thing I got to say is go Pack, go.
I'm rooting for the Pack also, man. I really feel like y'all have been free. Y'all are free. Go ahead and run.
It's good to be here.
And I'm representing for the Giants, of course. Big Blue, go Big Blue, New York Giants. I hope that we have a great season. Knives, iron sharpens iron, plain and simple. So that's basically the division that we are in, and we are here for the competition every single year. I feel that this is basically just the beginning, and as all those other teams are falling, we're going to find our way to rise and grab another championship as we always do. Anyway, everybody, this is CallMeNakomi World. I thank you very much for coming by. God bless you, and good night.